You seen that Mrbeast stuff?
It's crumbling down.
It's crazy. But I'm going to just talk about the Mrbeast allegations because they start off with nothing and they've kind of built up over time. And they don't actually have much to do with Ava Chris Tyson. To be honest with you, there's really not much about that so far. Maybe it's going to come out later, but right now there's nothing. What's really crazy about these
two separate issues
is there's this guy, the name is Dogpack, okay? And he put out 2 videos. He used to work for Mrbeast briefly, and he kind of released a lot of information with some insider info about everything. Now, some of it is legit, some of it is kind of frivolous nonsense, like it's just opinionated stuff that really is not that important. But I want to talk about some of the legit stuff, and we're kind of going to go through order, okay? And you got everything from child diddling to faking pranks to faking all kinds of stuff, okay? So, just to start, let's get right to the worst thing, because I think that's what everyone really wants to see. Mrbeast apparently employed a predator knowingly. Now, whether or not he knew is allegation, but this guy is on record, he has a criminal record, something offensive towards a minor between the ages of 1 to 11, okay? And the guy's nickname on set apparently was Delaware. And the reason why is, like, and people knew this, he's not allowed to go back to Delaware. Why? And he's in a lot of the videos, he has a mask on. Now, employing somebody who did their time and who has a bad enough, but when you're Mrbeast and you work with content that's mostly geared towards kids, it takes on another level.
Questionable.
Now, they don't go outright and say that Mrbeast knew, but they find it hard to believe that he didn't. That to me stands to reason. I think especially if you're making content for kids, background checks are going to have to be something you do a lot of, because you're giving people screen time with an audience of mostly kids who are probably going to contact these people. If you did know, that's horrible. If you didn't know, that's just as horrible. You cannot, it's like running a daycare, not doing background checks on your employees. It doesn't matter whether you knew or not. Pretty much you're super negligent to the point where you deserve to be criminally charged for it, right? So that's probably the biggest thing I've seen. And just right there, what do you think?
Let me play devil's advocate. Nah, I'm just playing. And what happened?
I think so. Let me play devil's advocate. How old is 2 years old really?
Nah, you fucking crazy for that shit. That's not even what I said. Wow.
I'm like, yo, you are the devil incarnate. Go for it, bro. That's crazy. Because you know that I said, how old is 16 really? But this dude's offense is between 1 and 11.
That's crazy.
How old is 2 years old?
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But sorry, keep going.
No, what I'm saying, things can happen very quickly, and there's a lot of things to take care of whenever you have a channel like that and it grows really fast and really quickly. I can understand that. You know what I mean? Like, I can understand people being overwhelmed by certain things. Things can be overlooked and overseen because of how fast your channel grows. Now, is it still your responsibilities? Absolutely. It doesn't change the fact that you still have to do it. You still have responsibilities, and you still have to go out there and be like, hey, you know what? Let me just check in on that, right? You do 100% have to check that. But I can understand how, like, certain things can slip.
Yeah. Okay. Let's keep going. I'll give my thoughts afterwards. Mrbeast 100% knew about Ava's weird prawn stuff, and the reason why he knows is because Twitter, they're both very active, following each other, so they would see each other. But more importantly, she had weird posters in a room in which you could see video Mrbeast in that room itself. Also, he went to the Discord a few times, so he would see some of the weird messages. So that's also something that he knew about. Didn't know to the extreme what she was doing with minors per se. We don't know. But just the fact that you know about this stuff, that's also another red flag. A red flag doesn't mean you did something wrong, but it does mean that there's something to look at and to be careful of. Okay?
Raises, what?
And now we're going to go down the unethical lotteries. Basically, he was setting up lotteries that were illegal, and the only people who would win would be his friends and family, essentially. It would be very almost impossible to win any Mrbeast giveaways. And I think here's the other one that I think is the biggest one. And this is pretty credible to me, and probably one of the more credible ones because it comes from so many different sources, but an unsafe work environment. Okay, there was one contestant who was made to do a sleepless challenge and basically constantly pressured even though he worked for Mr. Beast, the other employees were constantly pushing him. It was fucking with his mental. After the fact, you see text messages from 2021 in which he's like going to a doctor. He can't walk anymore. He's having issues with his mental. He has to see his shrink. So there's corroborating evidence from way before the scandal even broke out of this guy having issues with the challenges at hand and how much they affected his health and how Mr. Beast really didn't seem to give a fuck about his safety. And there's other people who are alleging the same thing from the set of the Squid Games that Mr. Beast was producing and some of the other game shows where Mr. Beast either cheated or skirted what's necessary for safety purposes and put people's lives in danger. And that seems to be what corroborated with a lot of the evidence that they said surrounding this. So now all of this is coming out. Mr. Beast taking a lot of hits. Everyone's making pieces about it, and they're all talking about him. I have a lot of thoughts, especially about marketing a lot of products to kids and the way that Mr. Beast does things. There's definitely something to be said about the fact that that's incredibly unethical.
Not too long ago, Raycon launched a new upgraded model, and I've been able to enjoy them because I'm in a bit of a vacation right now. Yeah, I'm taking some time for myself. I've been doing some traveling. The traveling thing, super stressful. I like to have my earbuds in my ears so I can hear my music perfectly. With the noise cancellation, that is great. You can hear just your music, not the baby in the back making a whole ruckus, just your music. Also, I use them when I'm training. I like that because they stay put. They stay put in my ear. They don't fall off because they have different sizes of gel. That's always a really wonderful thing. And they're also water resistant. What I like the most right now with the upgraded model is that they have a fast charging. Yeah, quick maths. 10 minutes of charge equals 90 minutes of listening time. And you can get up to 32 hours of listening time. Listen, click on the link below and you're going to be able to enjoy all the new vibrant colors that Raycon have right now. Yeah, you're going to be able to save 20 to 40%. You click on the link below or you go on to buyraycon.com/ABBA and you're going to save that 20 to 40%. Plus, shipping will be free. Enjoy. Click on the link below. Get yours.
If you're making fake lotteries and you know these people are going to pressure their parents to pay for this stuff, all these other things in terms of gambling that you're promoting, when people are playing these kinds of games that are just essentially gambling, and it's geared towards kids, there's a high level of scrutiny that I'm going to offer to that because of the target audience. So, I think that kind of covers most of the bad things that have been said.
It's just that a lot of people were saying, yeah, but look at all the good he's done. That's the response to everything that you said.
Yeah.
Is look at all the good that he's done. Look at all the people he's helped and saved. And I think they two can coexist. You can do good to a lot of people.
Yep.
And do extremely bad in a lot of other instances. And you need to, okay, good, you did the good, but you need to focus on the bad so that how the bad is pretty bad. You have to be able to look at that. It's the same thing for Mr. Beast. It's the same thing for Fresh and Fit, for anybody like that. A lot of people are going to be like, yeah, but he helped me. Yes, okay, cute. Good for you that those people helped you. And that's great. And I'm still the one that's going to be like, yo, he helped the people.
Yep.
If we see and if we notice that there's some things that are bad, because we covered Mr. Beast in the past and we're like, you know what, leave him alone. He does some great stuff. But if things comes out that he's doing, what's your face?
I would say we didn't say leave him alone. We said the things that people are coming at for don't make sense.
Sure, let's put it that way.
People are like, why do you stick a camera in their face and give them their vision? Like, bro, if you're gonna make me see again, I don't care if you put a camera in my face. I just want to see my eyes. Like that's just stupid.
I thought you was about to say, listen, if you're about to give my face, if you're about to give my vision, I don't care if it sticks a camera up my butt.
Okay. Yeah. You can stick camera. If I can't see, stick camera up my butt. Sure. If I can see again, I would definitely take my eyesight back. To me, that was like non-issues. This is different. I think things aren't as bad as people make it seem. People make it sound like he's part of some kind of pedo ring sometimes or whatever. No. But I don't think things are as good as like some of his fans make it seem. I don't think you can get to his level of riches, which is pretty much billionaire status at this point, and not cut corners and not do things unethically at some points and not risk people's safety. There's no way you can keep the kind of upload schedule that he has with these videos that require so much planning and not coerce people or not push people past limits that are probably unsafe for them. I just don't think you can really reach that level of wealth. I don't think you guys can name me a single person who's like that. But the difference between Mr. Beast and a lot of these other billionaires is Mr. Beast is constantly the brand, the face of everything, on Twitter, engaging with people, trying to look like the everyday man whilst also flying in a private jet. It just doesn't work. And this is like advice I'd give to, I mean, you probably shouldn't take it because people want to catch you. But if you get past a certain level of richness, you need to stop pretending like you're an ordinary person. You're not. the things that you have to do to get to that level of wealth is not ordinary. Mrbeast is a bit psychopathic. You can actually see it in his interviews when he talks about his drive for success and all the things he has to do and how much he pushes the envelope. You know, they had an internal memo that said no doesn't mean no. And it talks, which is a crazy thing to say. But essentially talks about how in a sales position, if the manager says no at a store and you want to film on set, go to the regional manager, talk to some of the other shift managers and try to go around that. Now, obviously, in a social context, no means no is pretty readily accepted because it's like, you know, don't great. But in a business sales position, that's a normal mindset. It's not abnormal that when you get no from a specific business that you'll try to go around, you'll go to other areas or whatever it is. And if he's doing that, it's not surprising to me that people are unsafe on set at certain points. This is what I think. I think he's generally tried to be safe, but there's times where, fuck it, we just got to do it anyways. And that's very possible. And that's the instance you're seeing. When you make so many videos, you have so many sets, so many crazy ideas, it's impossible not to cut corners. As long as you try to be a visible person, as long as you're the individual, you're going to get all the scrutiny. You know, it's like when a company like Rogers, T-Mobile fucks up,
Vodafone.
There's no face of it. There's no CEO. It's just a big conglomerate. Nobody has any place to really direct their anger. They just canceled it. What? Who runs T-Mobile?
Well, I don't know, but there's some people that definitely know, and some people sometimes get the flag for those big companies. When something happens, that's why some people resign. You know what I mean? Like there's some people that are the face, not say the face of, but they are in charge of, and they're gonna get the flag. The responsibility falls on them, and that's why they resign for certain positions.
They might resign, but they're not actually getting individual flag. Generally, it's just the company that does, and because of the head figure, they have to resign. What Mrbeast is getting is like he's the face of it. Everyone's putting Mrbeast. Sure. Mrbeast has done this. Mrbeast is just the face of a big company.
Yeah.
What, dozens of employees and all this stuff. He's at the forefront. He's doing all the interviews, right? There's no spokesperson. It's Mrbeast is the CEO and the spokesperson. Mrbeast has gotten too big for his own good, and he's still trying to operate like a regular YouTube. He's not. All right.
What do you think is going to happen?
And I also think he's expanded too quickly, which I think is the biggest thing. You know, in 4 or 5 years, I've seen this guy open up a candy line, burger stuff, and there's been a lot of mishaps and a lot of huge mistakes that have really set these things back. The clothing merch, the new challenges, the Amazon deal. He's trying to do so many things. It's impossible to expand that much, bring in this many employees and not see things fall through the crack. Whether it's hiring an ex-offender, whether it's the Beast Burger dramas, whether it's the merchandise, whether it's the sugar cookies, changing in the flavoring and all those other stuff. It's not abnormal to me that all this stuff is happening with the kind of business strategy. Now, that's the work side of things. On the morality side of stuff, I think there's a lot to critique him for. I think there's a lot of irresponsibility that goes to like the point of being criminal negligence. And I think it's okay for people to be incredibly upset at it and to demand that, you know, there's some changes that are made. Mm-hmm. I think for Mrbeast, he's got to take a step back and stop trying to be the face of everything. But I don't think his business can survive without him being the face of everything. Because he is the brand.
It was built on that.
Exactly.
But so what do you think is going to happen?
This is a tough one.
I'm asking Abba the Wizard.
This is a tough one. I think kids don't care.
Kids don't give a shit.
I think kids don't care. This is adults who are, you know, complaining, getting mad about it. And the truth is, unless this guy gets demonetized, which will never happen because he brings in too much money, unless, you know, brains complete, it shouldn't matter. I think if anything happens, he's going to make himself quit. That's, I think, the most likely scenario. And he's going to take like a backseat approach to like a new venture. That's the most likely scenario for me if he wasn't to keep on going. Because YouTube is not going to get rid of him. None of these other companies would. Or maybe like criminal charges would come at him for the fake lotteries, you know? For the fake giveaways, because those are bound by law. And if that's something that the government comes down on him for, that's a different question. But outside of those three outcomes, I just don't see much else other than what I said, honestly. So, yeah, that's what I think about that.
That's kind of a RICO charge that they're going to have to go through for the lottery stuff. Kind of like they got to calculate how much he was able to benefit from all these and all his fortune and stuff like that.
Yep.
That's how they have to. But do they want to do that?
Yeah, they would. There's a lot of gaming and lotteries commissions that kind of handle this stuff. And if you break those federal laws and guidelines for lotteries and things like that, yeah, they can come for you. And they have a very strong case.
They're going to want to get.
They're going to want to see receipts. They want to see who was paid, whether or not they had any affiliation, were these game shows legal. You can't just make a game show. There's so many rules that you have to follow. So that might be the technical stuff that gets them. But, you know, hiring, none of that stuff is really going to matter. I think it's going to be internet drama, and I don't think his core audiences or kids are going to care. They don't care. They want to see the next Mr. Beast video. They're the TikTok generation. They want to see 1 minute videos and be obsessed with it. So yeah, I think this drama is big in the YouTube sphere, but as far as its core audience, which are underage people, they don't care. I don't think so. And I don't think there's a reason for them to care either. Faking videos. So he faked videos. He would pretend they were contestants, but they were actually his friends and family or shit like that. Some of it was understandable because during the pandemic, a lot of people got sick. The thing is, he lied about it. And I think once you lie about it, like, all your credibility goes out the window because you should have just been honest. Like, hey, most of these people are contestants, but because of this, he didn't want to say that. So I think those are where you make mistakes.
But
Let's see.
Pimp My Ride was fake.
Yeah.
There's a lot of fake things in there. We didn't know about it, right? We knew eventually later on we knew about it. What they didn't really fix the car. They didn't really fix the mechanics of it. They didn't really give them rinky-dink ass jobs. There's other shows like that. What's the show where they come to your house, they kick you out for a week, and then they redo your whole house? Shit like that. Stuff like that are not necessarily real.
Yeah.
Shows like that are really not real. So we allow it on TV, but as this one guy making money, we don't allow it. I don't think it should be allowed at all. But just know, my point is, just know that he's not the only one. He's not the first one. This does exist on TV. Your reality show that you're watching is not real. All the whatever Housewives of LA is scripted. All the judges show scripted and not real. So there's a lot of he's replicating what's going on TV. He's doing that online. It's been going on.
But you know the difference is, and this is the thing, YouTube makes everyone much more closer to the creators than the television show.
Yes.
And the thing is, Mr. Beast always goes on TV or on new podcasts or whatever. He says everything is real.
Yeah.
We wish it was scripted, whatever it is. Like, scripting these kinds of things is not bad because it adds a layer of drama. But pretending otherwise and lying to the people is where you run into the issues. Mm-hmm. So, but I get what you're saying. I think that's just like...
It's been there.
Yes.
Don't think that he's the first one to do that.
He's not.
He's not.
But that's where we're at right now. So let us know what you guys think in the comments below. We want to hear from you. What do you guys think about everything that's happening? Where do you think it's going to go?